You are welcome back, my dear learner. I'm sure those questions were not difficult. Let's continue our lesson, and in the next slide, we are going to have a look at physical changes in females. And you can see that this young girl is also not comfortable with what she has on her face, that is pimples, because girls at puberty also grow pimples on the face. So you can see she's not comfortable. And we said a pimple is a small spot on the skin. It develops when the oil glands become blocked and then infected, and then it leads to swollen red spots on the skin filled with the whitish substance. We said this earlier when we were looking at the physical changes in males. The next change we look at is that there is ovulation. Ovulation is simply the release of eggs or egg production. So every month, a female at puberty has to release eggs, and the egg has to be fertilized by a sperm. And so ovulation is simply the process that usually happens once every menstrual cycle, when hormone trigger ovary to release an egg. So there should be a release of egg for the female, and then the egg is to be fertilized by a sperm. And we will look at the next stage when we get to menstruation. But here we are looking at ovary. So we are saying that there is ovulation during puberty in females, and these are the ovaries. You can see these two, this one ovary and this one ovary. So in the fallopian tube, you can see there, this is the fallopian tube, and the egg is released through the fallopian tube, and this egg is supposed to be fertilized by a sperm, and the sperm has to come from a male. So we will look at what happens if there is no sperm when we get to menstruation. So we are saying that there is ovulation for females at puberty, and then there is also menstruation, or menstruation begins for females at puberty. Menstruation begins for females at puberty. We are saying that the body of a mature female prepares for pregnancy every month, hence the release of eggs. So the release of eggs is called the ovulation. When there is no sperm to fertilize the egg, the uterus or womb sheds or breaks its lining and comes out with the broken egg as blood every month, which is menstruation. So when the egg is released, it is supposed to be fertilized by a male sperm, the sperm from a man. And so because the child is young or is not married, if there is no sperm to fertilize the egg, the womb that has been prepared to house the child breaks down, because there's no child going in there. It breaks down and then it comes out with a broken egg as blood, as monthly flow for females, and that is what we call menstruation. I hope you understand this because it is simple. So when the egg is released and there is no sperm to fertilize the egg, the womb that is prepared to welcome the newborn baby breaks down its lining, and then it comes out with the egg that has not been fertilized every month, and this is what we call menstruation. Then another one we look at, this is a pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle, it plays very important role in females. When you see any their hips have been enlarged and all that, is due to the pelvic girdle. It has a purpose. So you're saying that the pelvic girdle widens or it enlarges, and then its primary role is to support the weight of the upper body when you are sitting. So when you are sitting down, the role or the function of the pelvic girdle is to support your weight, your upper part, and from your waist up, it supports your weight, the body weight, when you are sitting. And then it transfers the weight to the lower limbs when you are standing. So when you are standing, the pelvic girdle also transfers the weight to the lower limbs so that you can stand firmly. And this is the pelvic girdle. And we are saying that for females, it widens. The next change we see is also common growth of armpit hairs or hairs in the armpit, and it's also common in females. They also grow armpit hairs. The rest are growth of pubic hairs. They also grow pubic hairs around their private parts. There is increase in height and weight also for females. their hips, their thighs, and their buttocks become rounded. So the hormonal change or the position of the facts and those things in females increases their thighs and then their buttocks, and then it makes them round. So you see them and then you see that they are very beautiful. It makes them rounded and then very beautiful. These are the physical changes also for females. You can get additional ones from your textbooks and other sources. Let's look at what we are taking home today. Key takeaways. What are we taking home today? We have looked at physical changes in males, and then we have also looked at physical changes in females. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. I have, and I'm sure you have also enjoyed it. Join me another time for another interesting lesson. Stay blessed.